Did you know that driving under the influence of marijuana is illegal? That's right. Driving high can get you a DUI. And if you're wondering if law enforcement can tell when you're driving high, well, everyone else in your life can. Your friends can tell, your coworkers can tell, even your parents can tell. So what makes you think law enforcement can't tell? Well, they can. If you feel different, you drive different. Drive high, get a DUI. Paid for by NHTSA.
With the first pick in the 2024 NFL Draft.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Daft on Draft podcast. I am your host, Dalton Miller. And yes, my voice just got high and it cracked because we have college football this week. And yes, we had it for week 0, but week 0 wasn't, it was nothing. It was a big old nothing burger. Not so this week, ladies and gentlemen. We have real college football games, real prospect matchups to talk about. Corey and I are going to go over all of them. And Corey, how are you doing today?
It's odd to record in the morning. So this feels good. This feels really good. Got my coffee, got my cold brew, dropped my kids off at daycare. We're rolling. So I'm excited, man. There's a million games to talk through, like from Thursday to Monday.
Yeah,
I love this.
It's all spread out. It's fantastic. Before we get started, I just have like a general philosophy question. How do you feel about the biggest game of the week, every single week, being at noon on Fox?
Yeah, it's not great.
Okay.
I'm sure you love it because
I love it because Mr. goes to bed at 7 p.m. But no, there is something about a night game, like a big night game in college football, that is amazing. Yeah. Like if I'm watching like LSU Alabama, I want it to be dark. You know what I mean? But there is something about, and Texas, Ohio State's a little bit different, but there is something about, like, unless it's at Penn State and it's like a whiteout game, like I don't mind a Big Ten football game between powerhouses at noon. Mm-hmm. Like it just feels blue collar. Like the Big Ten in general just to me feels blue collar, so it makes sense. And so I'm okay with it depending on the matchup. But some matchups I don't like as much. But like a lot of those SEC games are on the CBS anyway, so they don't get the noon slot. Doesn't matter. That's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about prospects. So let's get into it. And let's just get started. I just wanted to bring up, I don't know how much of an NFL draft prospect he is at this moment, but Byron Brown playing a top 25 team to start off 5:30 on Thursday night. When you guys listen or watch this podcast, Byron Brown will have already played Boise State, but that is a matchup that in my future here, I'm very excited about because he's somebody who I believe 2 years ago went for 3,000 and 1,000, and it was him and Jaden Daniels were the only two in the FBS to accomplish that year. Byron Brown, 6'3", 230, like big dude, a decent arm. As an NFL draft prospect, but as a college football player, he is a one-man army in that South Florida offense. So I'm very excited about how he fares against a very good football team.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun to watch. Again, 800 yards. We'll see. I drafted him in my college fantasy football league that I did this year. First time ever doing college fantasy football. It's really overwhelming because there's a million
right there.
That's a million players to sort through.
Yeah.
But I did draft him because I drafted 3 quarterbacks who could run the football. I think I got Devin Dampier and Kevin Jennings as well. But so we'll see. Boise State, that's a hell of a matchup to start the year too. So we'll see if Boise State can, now that they don't have their semi truck to carry them across the country anymore. We'll see how they do this year in terms of playoff contention. But that's a good one to open up the weekend. I guess Thursday isn't really the weekend, but good one to open the season with.
Yeah, and then I think the other one that I kind of wanted to bring up, I mean, there's 2 of them that I wanted to bring up, is NC State. I was just told that I need to watch Hollywood Smothers, which, listen, Phenomenal. All ACC, probably even an All-American name at running back. Redshirt sophomore, 5'11", 195. Really excited to watch him because I was told to watch him. So that's a name to keep an eye on there in that football game. Plus, my wife went to NC State, so I do kind of root for the Wolfpack.
Again, man, that's my least favorite kind of body type on a running back, though. Those taller, skinny. God dang it, man!
Yeah,
just give me like a 5'9", 215-pound hamster.
Yeah, sub 200 for me at running back is just tough to get down with, no matter what. It's the beating that those guys take.
Yeah.
There's nothing else really until we get down to the Nebraska-Cincinnati game, and when we get to that, we have to bring up Dante Corleone.
The Godfather.
The Godfather.
He started to show some juice as a pass rusher at the end of last year. So he's coming into the year with day 3 grades from scouts.
Well, at the beginning of last year, he had a game of
blood clots.
Yeah, well, at the beginning of the year last year when he was playing, he had a stretch where like 2 or 3 games he had like 6 or 7 pressures. But yeah.
So Corleone's back for his 5th year at Cincinnati. That Nebraska offensive line isn't very good. I couldn't tell you a single guy besides Elijah Pritchett, the Alabama transfer, who is listed as their 3rd string offensive tackle. So if that tells you where they're at there. So he should have a day. And then they've also got a couple players on Feldman's freak list as well. So, and I've been told about wide receiver Jeff Caldwell all season. I've written about him in one of my scouting notebooks. Like, he's a Lindenwood transfer, 6'5", 195 pounds, I think. Apparently isn't just a machine, like one of those athletic, just like built in a lab kind of athletes. So we'll see coming up from the FCS level to Cincinnati. I was told that he's kind of worked his way into Cincinnati's top receiver as well, coming from the FCS level. So we'll see how that plays out tonight. So we'll know by the time this episode releases. And then Jay Golday is another guy, a linebacker, more of a Sam like overhang type who can stack up, who will stack up a little bit too. But another Feldman freak list. I had tabbed Brendan Sorsby as like potentially that riser of this year's class as well. I mean, he's got some really fun tools. He's got a fast whippy arm and he can run. He's an athlete. So I'm going to be watching Sorsby because I know some scouts that really like him too. Scouts are always as well. They always tend to grade like one step above in summer scouting as well, because like when scouts are trying to tell their teams about somebody, like they need their bosses to take the players seriously. They want them to take seriously too. So I know a scout who said that they've got NFL starter grades on Sorsby. And again, you exaggerate a little bit over the summer so that like you keep them on your boss's radar. You keep them like on the radar of your team heading into the season. I'm not quite that high on him. His accuracy numbers weren't great last year, but they got a whole new stable of receivers. And I do think Sorsby has the tools and can play from the pocket pretty well to kind of take that leap. So that's one I'll be watching there too.
Nothing else from that Thursday slate, but Friday, we have
Aiden Childs, baby.
We have Auburn and Baylor. Well, Aiden Childs, we don't care about Western Michigan and Michigan
That's
State.
True, we don't.
We don't.
Yeah.
We just don't. Auburn, Baylor, we absolutely do, because we have some big time prospects in that one. Keldrick Falk, one of the top names in college football when it comes to the NFL draft. Cam Coleman is another one where he's not NFL draft worthy yet because he is only a true sophomore, but he is, we talked about it, maybe not right there with Jeremiah Smith, but probably the wide receiver 2 in that class right now from a talent perspective. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
There's a lot of good
the
receivers.
Conversation. We did a after draft on this, right?
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I've said that I am a little less bullish on Ryan Williams, because I just think his play strength is pretty bad. And I've like watching other corners throughout the summer, and I obviously want to watch the Alabama games because I want to see him play their toughest opponents, and pretty often I'm seeing Ryan Williams getting rerouted into the sidelines. So a little lower there, but yeah, Cam Coleman, man. Interesting that he stayed at Auburn, but you know what? Yeah, but I love Cam Coleman.
Yeah. And listen, Oklahoma transfer Jackson Arnold, he was a 5-star, so you got to keep your eye on him as well. Connor Liu, I mean, this Auburn team has actually quite a few guys. Connor Liu,
Connor Liu is a top 10 player in this class that just plays a position that we do not value.
and then
He's a top 10 player in this class.
And then Xavier Chaplin, who the NFL seems to love at tackle as well. He's got 75-inch arms. So very, very excited about this matchup, even though those guys won't have a ton of guys to really worry about on that Baylor defense. That Baylor offense is kind of fun, man, because Sawyer Robertson is a fun player. You also have Bryson Washington, who is getting a lot of love. We didn't love him as much when we watched his tape, but that is what it is. Kobe Prentice, a former 4-star Alabama transfer. Michael Trigg coming back. I believe he got injured last year. Coming back healthy this year. He's a talented player. And so those are some names to watch on that Baylor offense.
Yes, love it. Love it, love it, love it. Again, Baylor's offense is going to be fun. Sawyer Robertson's going to be fun. He's going to be chaotic. That always makes for really great college football, though.
Well, Baylor's always a chaotic offense, no matter what. And then we have
Georgia Tech, Colorado has the chance to be one of the better games of the weekend.
Absolutely. Haynes King, not from an NFL draft perspective, I would say,
but from a gritty college quarterback perspective.
That dude is so gritty. I love watching him play. Man, he's right up there, and we had this conversation off air. He's right there with me, with Diego Pavia.
Yeah, that's right.
When it comes to just like fun, hard-nosed college football players who you just really enjoy watching play. And then
you got Caden Salter outside of that weird-ass spread option offense now, too.
That's what I was going to say. Caden Salter on the offensive side of the ball for Colorado, and then on the defensive side of the ball, obviously DJ McKinney is the name to keep an eye on there.
I've also been told – sorry, go ahead. I don't want to cut you off.
No. Tell me what you've been told, and then we can get into a different topic.
Well, Colorado has two pretty awesome receivers. Like Dre Miller is legitimately the receiver that I've seen closest body type wise and like play style wise to Deebo Samuel. I know everybody wants to comp every yak guy to Deebo Samuel. Dre Miller is legitimately like dense in his lower half, very strong after the catch and with the football in his hands. But I've been told from scouts like Omarion Miller is, if he is the top receiver at Colorado this year, is going to go first round. Like that's the tools that he has as a receiver. So now that Travis Hunter isn't there, now that Jimmy Horn's not there, now that LeJohn Wester's not there, like the ball's got to go elsewhere. And so I've been told Omarion Miller is that guy. So we'll see that.
And Colorado obviously has a ton of transfers that have come in over the past 2 years. So it'll be interesting to see how all of that molds and gels together. I did want to bring something up. And this is from an NFL side of things, and it's really unfortunate. But I do think we might need to talk about Shedeur a little bit and how bad that's looked so far. Do we just already admit that we might have put too much emphasis on how bad that Colorado O-line was and made excuses for him?
Probably a little bit.
Yeah.
But also, like, I mean, it was really ugly. That preseason game was really ugly. I mean, to the point where, like, Haas Juke, he wasn't reading out Haas Juke and getting the ball out on time.
I know.
Out of 5 wide against, like a 4-man front. It's just like some stuff like that. It's like, man, dude. It's pretty bad. But, I'm not willing to... He hasn't played a regular season game yet. He might not even play a regular season game this year. So we'll see. Again, I think he's got,
from
like...
what I've seen, I hope he doesn't.
Yeah, oh, hell no. What I will say about Shedeur is that, like, his mental toughness is clearly very strong. Like, I obviously I am very inundated with the Cleveland stuff because it's also what I do. Like, he just works, man. Like, none of the stuff outside he doesn't seem to hear. He doesn't seem to care about. Like, he just works, and I think that's a pretty good trait to have. So we'll see. Obviously, the ball placement and accuracy is still really good. Like, it's one of the best that I've charted over the past few years. So, like, I think there's hope there. Potentially, like, that Colorado offense is also pretty basic. So we'll see. But yeah, if the Browns are in a position to take a quarterback again next year, though, they're going to do it. So that's for both for Gabriel and for Sanders. Like the expectations for quarterbacks flatten once you get outside of the second round.
Yep,
You're
absolutely.
drafting a backup once outside the second round. So
let's talk about a guy who we don't think is going to be a backup, and if he starts this season hot, is going to be the biggest name in college football all year.
Already is the biggest name in college football.
You're right, and that is Arch Manning. Number 1, Texas, at number 3, Ohio State. Ohio State is favored in this football game at home by, I believe,
1.5. Very narrow spread.
Yes. So taking home field advantage away there, they are actually probably not the favorites, given how much of a home field advantage college football brings. So if it was neutral site, I believe Texas would be favored in this football game.
Mm-hmm.
And man, there are some absolutely awesome matchups in this one. You got Arch Manning with a massive week 1 test. You got Wisner and Baxter versus Styles and Reese there. Gooseby versus Jackson, Curry, Hicks, Atkinson. Igbinosun with 25 defensive pass interferences in this football game against Wingo. And then for me, the one that I really want to see the most, the one that, and this is bad because it's going to speak poorly on a prospect, but I need the people to see just how much of a liability Anthony Hill Jr. can be in coverage. And so I need Max Clare to absolutely go off in this football game. And I need Anthony Hill to be on the receiving end of that.
Yeah.
Now, will that happen? I don't know. We might see some Jalen Gilbo against him as well, and that is a big size mismatch.
Huge.
You might also see some Taffy come downhill and cover him as well. It'll be interesting to see, who really matches up with Claire.
There might be like 600, like 700 passing yards total in this game.
Yeah,
maybe 800.
There very well might be.
We'll see how Jermaine Matthews, if Jermaine Matthews gets looks against Wingo too. That would be something I'd be very interested in too. But again, I've always said that I think Jermaine Matthews is the better of the two corners anyway. So
yeah, Texas really likes to run the football. But yeah, I mean, even on the other side of the ball, you have Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith going up against somebody who we think has been very much overhyped in Malik Muhammad over the summer. Mm-hmm. So I think that you're correct. I think it's going to be two really efficient passing offenses in this game. And it's not like, listen, Texas's passing offense is always efficient because of the way that they run that offense. But I do believe you're going to see efficiency and more downfield explosiveness than we have from that football team and from a Steve Sarkisian offense in general because of the types of quarterbacks that he's had in the past, and the one that he has now is just completely different. I'm so excited to see Julian Sane. I'm so excited to see him, man.
It's the true wild card. Your first career start against freaking Texas, man.
Yeah.
That's tough.
And I'm excited to see Jack Endries and Caleb Downs go at it as well, because I think Endries is a pretty good football player. And I think
Downs is at his best when he's stepping down. So
Caleb Downs is at his best when he is stepping down. So it will be very fun to watch. And that's going to be the game of the week. And that's I'm not watching a single second of any other noon game.
Yeah, my biggest concern here is Colin Simmons against an Ohio State offensive line that is very much different look than it was a year ago. I mean, Ethan Onyeonwa didn't win a starting job, and they transferred him in as the big, offensive line transfer here. So, which Phil Daniels is good. The Minnesota transfer, who played guard for Minnesota last year, is playing right tackle. That's going to be rough. Could be rough. That's where I anticipate the biggest wild card being here is Ohio State. I mean, Luke Montgomery started in the playoffs once they had to kick Donovan Jackson out. Hinsman had to start once McLaughlin went down, but they're starting 3.5 new names here along this offensive line, including both tackles.
Trey Moore and Colin Simmons could definitely be the great equalizers in this football game for sure.
Yep. Yeah. So, yeah, that's a lot of time spent on Texas Ohio State. Deservedly.
Well, I mean, it's the biggest
yeah.
match. I mean, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you want to go over from the Syracuse and Tennessee game? Because, like, for me, like I had fun watching Joey Aguilar last year in the summer, and then I just like didn't watch any more of him because I didn't have to. And so I'm really interested to see what he looks like. And then obviously, I mean, from a wide receiver perspective, you don't really have a matchup for Jermont McCoy. I just want to see how comfortable he looks coming off of the ACL and how athletic he looks. That's it.
Yeah. I was a big fan of Chris Brazzell from Tennessee last year when he transferred up from Tulane. But then obviously their passing attack was really bad, and you couldn't see anything.
You saw nothing from him.
So, Syracuse always has well-coached DBs, so maybe some Brazzell against those Syracuse DBs. I mean, Deuce Chestnut, I think, is probably the biggest Syracuse DB, and he had like a pretty I think he had an undrafted grade this summer. So like name-wise, not a lot there, but they're always well-coached. So probably looking at that a little bit.
Yeah. Yep. I agree there.
Man, I'm going through this list here.
Do
you think Toledo could beat Kentucky? I think Toledo has a chance to beat Kentucky. Kentucky's a 10-point favorite, a 9.5-point favorite here, but
Kentucky's pretty bad this year, I think.
And Toledo's always pretty competitive.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, they're starting. Yeah, they're starting Calzada. We'll see. We shall see.
Yeah. Also, 2:30 p.m. Fernando Mendoza makes his Indiana debut against Old Dominion, but I will say I will be tuned in. I would be locked in.
LSU at Clemson, I think, is the next game we really need to talk about. There's some matchups here. How does Avion Terrell and all of that speed match up with all of the speed of Aaron Anderson, Barry Brown, Nick Anderson, Xavier Thomas? Like Chris Hilton. I didn't even talk about Chris Hilton.
Yeah,
they go five wide of guys who run a 4.4 or less. I mean, Xavier might be a little bit slower than that, but like he's still like a smaller guy. But Nick Anderson, he can fly for 6'4", 210.
Yeah.
He can fly. Barry Brown, we know can fly.
Right.
And Chris Hilton might be the fastest dude in the NFL draft this year.
They all three probably might have the top 340. They could all three have the top 340 times. Like I wouldn't be shocked by it. Like I would be shocked by it. Yeah. So Nussmeier just plays him and then they have a basketball player playing tight end. Trez Green. Yeah.
Yep.
Is on their basketball team too. So like they have athletes all over the freaking field, man. They did just reconstruct their offensive line. I think they transferred in like 3 of their 5 offensive linemen this year, including Braylon Moore, who Braylon Moore is going to get a healthy dose of Peter Woods and DeMonte Capehart here. So we'll get a little bit of that there. So I'm excited to see this game, man. There's a lot across the board. Here.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the other side of the ball as well, Patrick Payton coming over from Florida State. We'll see how that looks like up against Blake Miller.
I'm trying to think. Clemson has all those young receivers who can run, but not. I guess your dude Mansour Delane against all those young Clemson receivers.
Mansour Delane, and you know who we haven't talked about is the other LSU corner. What the heck is his name? He's number 1. He got the number 1 immediately, and I can't think of his name. As a freshman, he started playing as a freshman. We thought he was going to be awesome. Haven't heard anything about him since.
Ashton Stamps.
Haven't heard anything about him since, really. And I think that he was like second in the SEC in passes defended last year. And he's a true junior, so he's NFL draft eligible. But I haven't heard a peep about him. So that's a name I'm really, really going to be keeping an eye on against this stable of Clemson wide receivers. And then, obviously, we are interested to see what Cade Klubnik and Garrett Nussmeier are going to look like in this football game, who outplays who.
Yeah.
Because this is a potential Heisman Trophy winning game in week 1.
Yeah, it is. It is indeed. And like last year with these guys, we had to wait a few weeks to see them against some actual NFL like talented defenses. We're going to get a good taste right off the bat here. I mean, Nussmeier started the season against USC, and USC's defense has been Swiss cheese for years. So like this is a big change up from that. Big change up from that. So very excited about that game. Very excited about that game.
Yes. And then the next game that I would like to talk about just for a second is South Carolina at Virginia Tech. That is a Sunday game. The Sunday slate is awesome.
Yep.
And obviously this one comes down to we want to see the growth from Lenore Sellers as a passer.
Yep.
That's about all I have to say about that game, I believe.
I think so too. Rasul Faison got his eligibility granted, the running back from South Carolina, so that's cool. But he might get eased into it since they, waited till the week before the season started to tell him his JUCO wouldn't count against his eligibility. Yeah, I think this Nick Harbor. Can you actually play the position? Like you quit track to focus on football. What does it look like now? We all know how much of an athlete you are. Can you run a route and track a football and catch a football consistently? So
yeah,
we'll see about that. But that's probably it for that South Carolina game. Notre Dame, Miami too, man.
Mm-hmm.
That Sunday slate's awesome.
Yeah.
From an NFL draft perspective, is Carson Beck worth talking about?
Yeah, absolutely. 100% worth talking about. He was literally QB1 heading into last year.
Yeah.
So no matter what we think of him and how atrocious he was last year, we got to talk about him as an NFL draft prospect because he was the top guy heading into last year. And he's about to go up against what I believe to be the
best coach defense in the nation.
Best coach defense in the nation every single year.
Yeah.
So going to be a very, very fun matchup. And I mean, this is legitimately a defense that can make the best quarterbacks look absolutely silly.
Mm-hmm.
And they have some dudes, man. They still have some dudes. Drake Bowen is a good football player. Christian Gray, Devontae Smith, on the the second and third level, and then
they got some young edge rushers, man, who can come after too. Bryce Young, Bobakar Traore. They've got some dudes who can come at you.
Yep, and then some older guys in Junior Tui Halamaka and Jordan Bortoletto as well. I mean, they run 4 deep on the edge there, and then man, it doesn't matter who they are. They always have some defensive tackles who can absolutely beat you up. And they have 2 guys who I'm really interested in, redshirt senior and a 6-year guy. Both of them have almost 34-inch arms, 82-inch wingspans. Both are pretty athletic dudes. And both guys that we didn't see a lot of because they had 2 really good dudes playing in front of them last year. Also, Emil Wagner at offensive tackle is a name to watch. It's a name to watch.
Sure.
Jaden Green, and then all of the wide receivers, Jordan Bejan, Jaden Greathouse, and Malachi Fields are all guys to watch. And then obviously the backs.
Yep. Obviously the backs. I've also been told that redshirt sophomore safety Aiden Schuler is he's smaller than like any of those other Notre Dame safeties that have come out the past few years, Kyle Hamilton, Xavier Watts. But I've heard that he is the next like high IQ'd safety in the back end of that defense.
Is he smaller? Because I have him at 6'207". That's decent size for a safety, man.
Yeah, 6'205". That's fair.
Yeah.
He was also named a captain as a redshirt sophomore as well.
Oh, so he is that dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely that dude.
Yeah, so Aiden Schuler is a name that I've heard it can be a pretty big riser this year as well.
Yeah, and the guy that I'm really interested to see Emil Wagner go up against also
Bain.
is Ruben Bain, man. Bain might beat the hell out of him, but it'll be a lot of fun. Mark
Bain's got to be the most controversial, like volatile player in this entire draft class in terms of what people think of him.
Do people not not like him at all?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I know some people that have him like literally as overall 1, which I think
I wouldn't get there.
is crazy because I think there's like a couple of like legitimate blue chip guys. But from an upside perspective, I actually can see where they're coming from with it. I'm not that high on him, but
I have like a top 75 to 100 kind of grade on him.
The potential is there. I have him higher than that. But also on the other side of the ball for them, Mark Fletcher. And I mean, we already talked about the defensive end, the stable of defensive ends coming at CC Moe Noah. That's going to be, that for me is going to be the singular matchup to watch, is those Notre Dame edge guys against Moe Noah, because we both, I think, really like Moe Noah as a player. We just don't know if he's going to be an offensive tackle or if he's going to be a guard at the next level.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Moe Noah, that Bryce Young, he can take the outside shoulder.
Bryce Young and Moe Noah is the matchup to watch in this game, man.
It is for sure. It is for sure. That's it, man. I don't think there's anything to talk about this NC State TCU game other than Bill Belichick opening his college career on Monday Night Football.
UNC TCU? Yeah.
Is that what did I say?
You said NC State, but
yeah. Oh, yeah, UNC TCU. Yeah.
Also, just from Miami, somebody who I haven't watched a single second of, but I'm interested in strictly because of his name. His name is James Brockermeyer, and Brockermeyer just sounds like the most center name of all time.
It does.
4-star guy from Fort Worth, Alabama TCU transfer. He's on his 3rd team. We'll see how it goes, but I'm going to watch him just because of the name.
Yeah. Sounds great. Sounds great to me. That's all I got, man. That's all we got. That was a good recap. Thursday through Monday, we've got college football on, man. Thursday through Monday.
We are so
by the time you guys are listening to this podcast, obviously that Thursday slate will be cooked and complete. But enjoy, man. You've got a huge, there's no better way to open up a week 1 than Texas, Ohio State, man. Arch Manning against the defending national champions on the road in Ohio Stadium. Like, I'm kind of glad that I'm actually leaving the city this weekend, because Columbus would be a nightmare. Columbus is going to be a nightmare this weekend, so I'm glad I'm leaving. But man, enjoy it, everybody. Until next time, we'll be back next week, and then Dalton will probably have a guest co-host recapping the slate with you. But we'll be back next week talking more football. Until next time, this has been another episode of the Daft on Draft podcast.